Chase, obviously a disappointing result tonight. What positives do you take out of the 90 tonight?
I take a lot of positives. Ultimately, I mean, again, it's the seventh-ranked team in the nation, and really, once we solved their press, we were able to create numerous good opportunities in the second half. And the problem is you can't spot teams' goals. You can't start slow against anybody, much less a team of their caliber.
When you have that acclimation process immediately, where they get those two corners and they just put one on you immediately, just what did or did you not like from that response in the immediate?
Well, again, we started slow. We let them dictate everything in the first 10, 15 minutes, and ultimately you can't do that. You can't let any team do that, especially at home. And again, we've been better than that. We always have our moments, right? Every team has their moments, but to spot a team a goal that early, especially a team, again, with their caliber, you always know it's going to become a long night from there. So.
What's it like? Obviously, you've pressed before, but when you guys got pressed, what did you think of the response that you guys had? Did it take too long tonight?
It was crap. Honestly. Didn't respond well. We knew what they were going to do, and ultimately we just didn't respond well. So, again, once I think you saw the second half, once we started to solve their press, we were able to play through them numerous times, start to create some good goal-scoring opportunities. But again, we waited too long.
Yeah, Coach, there were multiple times in the second half, coming right out of halftime, that you were able to get a couple shots off. What was the change at halftime that you made that you told your players to be able to kind of come out the gate swinging?
Well, again, there's just one or two little tactical shifts, and it's stuff that they already know, but I think there's reminders of just who we are, what we do well, and what types of spaces we need to exploit. So once we just reminded them of that, again, it started to really take off. And again, I thought we were a lot more dynamic in our attacking movements as well. So again, for me, a lot of it came down to just that energy and just that belief in the system and trusting the process.
Obviously, this is a very emotional game for you and your team, going against the number 7 team in the nation, as well as an interconference game. Even despite the loss, what does this mean to you? What do you see from your team?
I mean, I see a team that's close. It's not quite good enough, though. We clearly have things we have to work on. I think you can take a lot of positives from the game overall. To 3 games in basically 7 days is always tough, much less with the last game being the 7th-ranked team in the nation, with their athletes and their pressing ability. So, but you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're tired. You have to just perform. That's what this level is. And so for me, I think once we start to figure out, again, we can take a lot of solace from that. We can enjoy that. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't good enough overall.
When you see how close they are that you just mentioned and how passionate they are, how does that fire you up as a coach, just to see that huddle and to see that learning and see that passion?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows them the mirror, right? We can do it. We're right there. We're an extraordinary team when everything's clicking and moving in the right direction. But when it's not, and when we're slow to start, or when we're making foolish fouls, those things are going to derail anybody. It doesn't matter how good you are. So again, just that discipline that's needed in those moments, that's that next step for us, right?
Going along with those fouls, you had a couple of yellow cards and that late red card by Chavez. What did you see from your team, potentially the aggressiveness that they had against such a good St. Louis?
I mean, I liked our aggressiveness overall. I think ultimately we need, there's certain people on the field that have to do a better job, and you notice all the yellow cards flowed one way tonight, and those types of things can't happen, right? So the balance wasn't there within the game, and so therefore things start to escalate.
The Duquesne also collected 9 corner kicks across the entirety of the game, and had the ball for over 56% of the game. How do you kind of combat the aggressive nature that they had moving forward?
Well, I thought you showed it. Again, I think that you don't need to combat the aggressiveness. You just need to be disciplined with it. We want aggressiveness. We want to be feisty. We want to be a team that puts the opponent under pressure. I think most coaches would want that. So to me, it's not about combating the aggressiveness. It's about channeling it properly and making sure, again, that there's always a line in the sand and you just can't cross it.